Name ist Peter Müller. Kommandant des Tigerpanzers 237. Und ich war dort.
Oh mein Gott.
Gemeinsam sind wir stärker, vergessen Sie das nicht.
Mensch, Peter, was machen wir denn jetzt?
Welcome everybody to the Battlefield 5 Tides of War Chapter 1 Overture gameplay sneak peek live stream. Can I get that any longer than that?
You could.
I think I could. I could try.
You could add the date, December 2nd, 2018, from DICE LA, and there we go.
There we go.
There we go.
I'm honored to be joined by some of my favorite people here at DICE. Over the next 90 minutes, we're going to be joined together as friends, and we're going to go through the Battlefield 5 Tides of War Chapter 1 Overture update. We've got a lot coming here. But before we dive into, I'm Dan Mitri. I'm your Global Community Manager, and to my left...
Ben Turner, Development Manager.
Cool.
Joe Shackelford, map designer.
Hi, I'm Jeff Braddock, North American Community Manager for Battlefield, and Dan's punching bag. Just wait, it's going to get fun.
Confidant, but okay.
Our life partner.
Hey, it's interchangeable.
It is, yeah. But I'm excited to have Joe on stream because you had a first hand at designing the new map coming with Chapter 1, Panzerstorm.
Feel free to blame me for all of it.
And then obviously, Ben, you've had a very integral part in developing this as you pulled together a lot of our developers under one roof. It's a big orchestration.
Feel free to blame Joe for all of it. So.
Jeff, are you blaming Joe for everything as well?
Always.
Okay, we're blaming Joe.
What was your Twitter handle again?
No.
No. So if you've been following along, there's a lot that's coming in this update. You get a new map, that's Panzerstorm. We're going to take an exclusive look at that today. So what we're doing is we're playing on a local server. It's not available yet to everybody. You also get the practice range. So this is an all-new mode where you can actually jump in, not on a live server. You can actually play with 3 other friends and really hone in your skills, whether it's around flying or in the shooting gallery or driving. We're going to showcase that.
I want to say one thing about that. Like Dan and I got to play that in Stockholm when we were there for the launch event, and it's super fun, especially if you turn on friendly fire.
You could turn it on and off. Yeah. We have vehicle visual customization, so finally taking that awesome customized system and bringing it over to vehicles, so our tanks and various aircraft. And we have The Last Tiger, which is an additional war story that we've added to the single-player campaign, as well as a whole host of other improvements. Now, I do have to caveat something, though. And it was something we were discussing. We ran into a couple snags as we're going through our cert process here. We saw some issues with game and server stabilities, right? So unfortunately, the update's going to get delayed. So you heard that here on stream, but we're going to have an update for you tomorrow morning. We want to make sure that this experience is polished, is fun to play, and that it doesn't introduce more issues. So our teams are very hard at work on it. I know you guys are going to jump right into it after we're done with the stream. Your teams are already working on it, but we want to make sure that it's that DICE quality that we all expect. So tune into the Battlefield channels tomorrow. We'll give you an update with the new release timing.
Yep.
Okay?
And the delay is not my fault.
Oh, anything with the map, but not the delay, right? Okay, so let's hit the battlefield. Let's just hop right in. We've got Ryan Lempinski, and he's shaking his head no.
We're waiting for people to
Oh, we're waiting for people to join. Okay, well, hey, let's go to that because we can check out the deploy screen. This map is huge.
It is huge.
So this is Panzerstorm.
It is.
Is there a reason for the name?
Because it's a storm of panzers, literally. This was one of the maps that was early on in the Blitzkrieg, and it was a huge tank battle across these open fields in Belgium. So we wanted to try and bring in as many tanks as we could. We were looking to sort of do something different than the Hamada map that's in the main game. So that Hamada is a very large vehicle-focused map. This is also a large vehicle-focused map, but this is a lot more open than Hamada is, and it really it's meant to be a playground for tanks, effectively. So the name Panzerstorm is literally just because we have a absolute ton of tanks.
It's a storm of Panzers.
It is a
that come
storm
through.
of tanks. Yes,
Yeah.
it absolutely is.
So we got to play this at the Capture event, in which a lot of our community members came out, got hands-on before the game released. This was back in late October.
Right.
And we played Panzerstorm. It was crazy. There's so many tanks going on, and then you have all the infantry that's coming in with the Piats or the Panzerfaust. Like it really takes a good balance of working with your team to take out those tanks as fast as possible, or be a damn good tank.
I mean,
pilot.
you can
And pilots
you
too,
can
right?
literally yeah,
Yeah,
totally,
yeah.
and you can actually squad up in a squad of tanks instead of just squatting up in one tank. You're now squatting up in 4 tanks and rolling across the battlefield.
So can we bring up the deploy screen while we were waiting for Ryan to hop in? We have the deploy screen. We're going to take a look at the points, and I think Ben, you've been playtesting some of this. So once we bring that up, let's talk about some of the strategies here. Here we go. It's on screen.
So I think one of the number one things, not related to any of the points, but just in general, like the team that plays their tanks and infantry combined are gonna, if the other team's not, they're gonna win. There's just so much strength to that. A lot of times you'll see teams where their infantry are kind of doing their own thing, and then the tanks are like, hey, we're going to do our own thing. If you guys move together, you're going to do well.
Yeah.
So that's like the number one thing. So if you're an infantry guy, check your map, look where your tanks are, try to kind of coordinate with them. And then same thing if you're a tank guy, you see, oh, man, all my infantry are trying to push in on this point, come in and support.
So as we're trying to load up a server here, I have a question from G.I. Joey. How big is this map? Compared to Hamada.
So Hamada and Panzerstorm are similar in size. Panzerstorm's a little bit bigger. I don't offhand know the numbers exactly, but if you have Hamada as a reference point or Sinai, it's bigger than those maps, but only a little bit. But enough to be called the biggest map. And it's it's meant for a playground, like I say. So as you can see, I don't know if we're actually showing.
Let's
Ryan
bring up
went around.
gameplay. Yeah, so we're in the pre-round screen. We have our pros at EA Baton Rouge who's going to be joining in. So they're going to be coming in the server as we talk. But at least we can walk around.
Yeah, seems like it. So like we're, one thing that we found when we were testing and doing internal testing on Panzerstorm is like you can see a lot of things happen. It's very wide open space. It can be, unfortunately, trouble to take out snipers that are watching from the walls, but as long as you're squatting up and playing with your tanks, you should be fairly safe. But you can see this great distance as you're looking around the map and looking across the map. You can see fights developing. You can see groups of tanks or groups of infantry moving to try and assault a point and then figure out how you want to deal with that. And it's one of the things we were trying to push across was that it is a vehicle map first. Infantry play is there, spaces for infantry is absolutely there, but it is a vehicle map first.
And it looks gorgeous. Look at that. Off there in the in the background, you have just this smoldering countryside that's up in flames because it's just war-torn ground.
This is the Blitzkrieg.
Yeah, this is it. So as you're playing, Joe, you're a map designer. You know how to approach maps. You know how to finesse them. You know what it takes to balance these. What would be some of your best tips? If I'm a new player into this, obviously we're all going to be new coming up once this releases. How should I approach it?
I mean, it depends on your class, right? I mean, recon should be hanging back, spotting the folks out there, spotting the enemy so that you can help your buddies. Support, you need to stick with your buddies if you're support or your medic especially. The run distances can be pretty long, so you just need to make sure that you're staying with your squad, using as many tanks as there are even more transport vehicles. So you got to be able to stay on the move. You got to stay relatively mobile because you will get a tank sneaking up on you somehow and blasting you away, despite how loud they are. And if you're playing assault, play with other assaults, squad up with other assaults, take out tanks, gang up on them. They are bigger than you, they are badder than you, they are stronger than you. The only way you're going to survive is if you gang up on them, and that is all part of the game. It's all fair and love and more.
So Ben, do you play infantry? What's your?
I am mostly an infantry player, so if people see me online, I'll probably be playing infantry, but Internally, when playtesting this map, I love tanking. Like, love tanking.
Oh, so Jeff gives me crap all the time for hiding in tanks, but I'm just good at it. So you and I
literally just said exactly what you do.
'Cause you're hiding.
You're hiding in tanks.
Good point.
He did give it away.
Good point. You win this one.
We call that the sniper tanks. The tanks that kind of hold out in the back. I tend to play more like up close to mid range.
Okay.
But I do try to coordinate, like I was talking about earlier, with infantry. So that way, if I don't push up, it's not my fault. It's the infantry's fault.
Yeah.
It's about shifting blame to the right place.
Yeah. So I noticed as an infantry player on this, the use of fortifications is vital.
Yeah.
To
absolutely.
keep those tanks off bay, and you're trying, like here, we're trying to hunker down in these stables here, and Ryan is instantly starting to put in fortifications.
Well, tank rounds, you will not be able to build anything that can fully withstand tank rounds. Tank rounds are huge, they're powerful, they're destructive. And most, if not all, the buildings, with the exception of the church on this map, can be destroyed down to pretty much just the bare bone structure. So you need to have fortification, you need to build those back up, because they're not going to completely stop a tank round. They'll eat a tank round and destroy and give you time to get away and find a flank or find some other option to try and take out the tank, or to get away and just run.
What are those? Okay, like, sorry for my dumbness. Well, what are those things that you can construct in the road?
Tank traps?
Tank traps.
Yeah.
Okay, I was noticing as he's running around with his hammer out, there's a lot of them everywhere.
They're not everywhere. We try to place them fairly strategically.
Right.
Unfortunately, we couldn't cover the entire space in tank traps for the sake of the infantry. So you'll have them on certain roads and things like that. They're trying to supplement a way of setting up traps or setting up focal points for your AT guns and places that tanks can't go here. I can now aim my gun this way. That sort of thing.
Well, my thing is this: if you're in a tank, why do you need a road? Just drive through the countryside.
Where we're going, we don't need
Exactly.
That's right.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Just like in the trailer, you saw, there's a fence. Not anymore.
That trailer was super sick. I loved the detail as they're coming up to the line. You see like the mud and the dirt fall off. The trailers are just dope.
Which, if you missed that, we're going to show it again at the end of the show. You can also go to the Battlefield YouTube channel. It's right there. It's live. Went live this morning. If you're just joining us now, obviously you're watching the Battlefield 5 Tides of War Chapter 1 Overture update, and we're taking a look at Panzer Storm, new map that Joe, you had a heavy hand in developing, and Ben as well as everyone here at DICE Los Angeles. But before we started the stream, we did say that unfortunately the release is a little delayed. We ran into 2 snags in which we saw some game and server issues. So we want to resolve those, and once we get those resolved, then we'll communicate the new release time. We should have an update for you all tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in Tides of War, and a lot of people they don't understand what Tides of War is. And to be honest, it took a little time for me to wrap my mind around what Tides of War was. Jeff, can you concisely tell our viewers and everybody at home what Tides of War is?
Tides of War is Battlefield 5's live service, divided up into chapters as we deliver content. So right now we have our roadmap for the first 3 chapters. Chapter 1 is Overture, and that brings in, and that's what we're going to be getting, be releasing very soon, and that gets you Panzer Storm. It gets you the practice range, vehicle customization. It also gives you the German war story, The Last Tiger, which is super exciting, and I'm not going to spoil that. Then we also have the next one is Lightning Strikes, and that's where we're going to be bringing in the co-op mode Combined Arms. And then the one that I know a lot of folks are waiting for is Trial by Fire, which is Firestorm, and that's going to be coming around March, and that's going to have Firestorm, lots of other things coming out.
BR!
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Battle Royale is going to be so much fun. But that's what Tides of War is. And as we move through these first 3 chapters, we're going to be expanding that roadmap, because the big thing that we've really wanted to do is to be very transparent about what's coming, what's happening. We've got some blogs coming this week to talk about everything that's in Chapter 1. We've got some videos and stuff, so it's going to be really good. And that's how we want to keep that cadence.
So let's get into some of that. So you established the macro, right? So Tides of War has all these chapters, right? And right now we've announced 3 chapters, and the first one here being Chapter 1, Overture. Well, in each chapter, there's weekly chapter events. And if you complete that weekly chapter event through a series of different challenges, you unlock something, and I want to dig into some of that.
Let's do it.
Okay, so it's a lot, and we have notes in front of us, so stick with us here. Do chapters come with more assignments? Yeah, we get assignments through all this. And we've got a whole FAQ here. Like Jeff said, there's a whole bunch of great information that's going to be published at battlefield.com, and it sounds like there's a tank outside.
It does
If
sound
you
like
hear
that.
that right now, there's some construction going
Let me
on.
step out. I need
Okay,
to stop.
Jeff's going to go lay down the hammer.
As I do.
He's gonna try.
So then let's hold down
luck.
the fort. It's us three.
Yeah, we got
Okay.
it. It'll be better. Let's be honest.
It will be a little better. Okay,
I'm not convinced of that because he's gonna watch this later.
now that Jeff's gone, yeah, we can just talk about him. What do you think of Jeff? He's an all right guy.
He's alright.
Yeah,
He's a good guy.
He's actually a pretty nice guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is pretty cool. I kind of miss him
I like
already.
his tattoo.
Okay, so like I said, these chapters are broken down into different weeks, and our first week here is called Attrition and Fortifications, and here it's all about your ammo and resupplying medic crates and pouches. So there's a series of different challenges, and that's all brought up. Actually, I think we have a screenshot of what it looks like in game. So here we see this is the in-game UI, and this is how allows you to track your progress through this first week. And at the end of the week, if you complete these different challenges, you get the VGO.
Nice.
Yeah, you get a brand new weapon.
There it is.
So that's how we introduce some of these new weapons within Battlefield 5.
It looks like that first week is all about attrition, fortifications, building stuff, helping your team, resupplying your team.
Yeah, let's bring that back up because I'm going to talk to each one of these. So on the first node, you have self-healing, and this is where you have to restore your own health and bandages 10 times.
Nice.
So if you do that, then you go into one of 3 that you can complete. It's up to you. The choice is yours. And that's healer, which is the top one there, re-engage, or need ammo. So depending on if you're a medic or if you're a support, you can tailor your custom experience to get that VGO as you see fit.
Right.
And then you move on to the next 3, and that's all about supplying with the health crate, breaking something with, breaking the fortifications with an ammo crate. And then you have your last 2 fortification defenses. What I like, and you see there on the bottom right, snow gooba.
Nice.
Build a snowman. That was one of the Easter eggs in beta, if you remember right.
It was
Alpha and
Narva,
beta.
yeah.
Well, we made a challenge out of it.
It took so long to build.
Yeah. And then that last little node there is hold a fort. You have to kill 5 enemies with stationary weapons. Boom, you do that within the week, you get the VGO.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I can't get him to be quiet because that's the parking lot construction jackhammers. It's even louder outside.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, we apologize, everyone. We'll try to do some gating with our mics as best as
It
possible.
sounds
but-
like a machine gun. It's kind of battlefieldy.
We're on the battlefield.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just pretend like we're doing this under
We're
fire.
literally in surround sound of
Totally
hammering.
fine.
Wait, you have hammering away in the script. That makes so much sense. Jackhammering away.
Yeah. So Jeff, as you were gone, we said nothing but great things about you.
Oh yeah.
I can watch the stream later.
I know.
I know where you
told you.
sleep.
I told you.
So we were talking about week 1. And how you start off with a challenge, and then you get to choose which route you go, and then you end back up at that final hold the fort, and then you get the VGO. The question that our community has asked: if I miss that, can I get the VGO later? Do I have to do it in week 1?
Jeff.
I don't know.
I know.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. It was a
Only
rhetorical
ask questions you know
question.
the answer to.
Wow, throw me on the spot and then make me look dumb. I mean, it's not.
So if you complete it in
Good
the
setup.
yeah.
You should have asked
Yeah,
Ben.
sorry, man. I should have had you ask me.
Y'all should have been on my team. Guess what? No squad revives for you.
So if you complete in that week, you get immediate access to it. Now we will provide that VGO later that you can unlock.
Nice.
So yeah, because the update's available to everybody.
Sure,
If you own Battlefield 5, you get access to all this. But we know everyone's busy. We have children or we have jobs. Some of us don't have either of those.
So
Or
this
some
allows
of us
you to
have
get it
children
early.
with jobs.
Early,
And if you don't have the time to actually do the Tides of War, you will be able to do it later.
you'll get it later.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll allow you to get it later.
That
Yep.
seems fair.
Yeah. So okay, we have a game going. Ryan is already in the tank. He's pulling the Ben Turner and Dan Mitri style.
I like that tank too, the light fast guy. Except I don't get it stuck as much.
I saw as we were in the pre-round, he was running through, and there was indicators that you can actually build trenches.
Yes.
You can dig them.
There are long lines of trenches, kind of in the mid spaces of the maps, leading into the central capture points and some of the outside capture points. This is the D capture point. The central battery is our kind of the center of the map. A couple buildings here. Again, all this will by the end of the match get destroyed, if not by tanks and AT soldiers, then certainly by rockets that will be called in at some point in time.
Pancake that car, bro.
Pancake it.
Yeah.
Run it over.
You know what we're here for, right?
We saw you.
know why we showed
Beautiful
up.
paint job.
Oh, not anymore.
Ah,
There it is.
I love that.
That's now the compact version.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the New York car park version. Condense that thing. Okay, so there's a couple more weeks in Chapter 1 Overture, and I want to talk about very lightly. I'm not going to go through and elaborate on the breakdown, but there are rewards for each week if you complete them. So week 2.
Week 2, we're going to be focusing on squad play and reinforcements. And that means exactly that. Stick to your squad, assist with kills, revives, supplies, enemy spottings in these series of challenges, and you will get the Axis Rat Burner helmet.
Ooh. I don't have an image for that, unfortunately.
That could go so many different ways. Though.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
I'm excited.
Week 3.
I knew I'd get week 3 because you get the Sebdestillator, and I can never pronounce that thing.
No, that was a fantastic.
I thought it was
pronunciation.
pretty good, but anyway, it's all about vehicles for that week. So I know I jumped right to the what the reward would be, but you could to complete the chain challenges. You can also choose to take on class-related anti-tank vehicles. Complete the
Yes.
chapter event, and you'll be able to equip recon soldiers with the Selbstlader 1906.
So find Ben on the battlefield, take him out because he's hiding in the tank.
Yeah.
And same with me. But that's during Christmas. That's December 20th to 26th of that week is happening.
Nice.
We have an image of the Slebslader.
Selbstlader.
Selbstlader.
The 1906
The
self-rifle.
1906. We do have an image of that. Can we get a preview of what it looks like?
I knew I was going to get that one, by
Yeah,
the way.
yeah.
I was like,
There. No, that's the VGO. Okay, so that's from week 1, which was cool. I'm glad we got to see that early because that was actually designed as a anti-aircraft weapon
Nice.
that would sit on the planes, and they took it down for infantry.
Is
So
that the
here's the
Slebslader?
Slebslader. We're totally jacking this up. The 1906 self-loading rifle. Yeah, that's cool. And then the week 4, I'm going to give over to you, Joe.
Sure. Grand operations and modes. Basically, Chapter 1 Overture ends with a focus on grand operations, paradropping into the vast multiplayer experience and complete unique challenges. You'll make your assault class happy. If you can't tell, I'm reading the script, folks. I haven't read it before. Sorry. But for the week 4 reward you get for grand operations and modes, you'll get the AGM-42 semi-automatic rifle.
And
Hello.
I think we have a screenshot of that.
I don't think I've ever seen that weapon.
No?
yeah, I'm not sure.
Let's bring it up.
Let's see what it looks like.
The AGM M42. Semi-auto.
That's what's going off in the background.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're testing it. We're actually capturing for audio. There it is.
Nice.
That's a
Oh,
dope
shit.
picture.
That's
Yeah.
not what I was expecting.
I'm
So
with
bare bones sort of firearm.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm assuming it's got a pretty fast rate of fire, but it looks like a very small clip.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. All right.
Little mag
I'm down
there.
with it.
Cool. So recap here. Okay. 4 weeks
Right.
here in Chapter 1. Starts whenever we release Chapter 1 to the public, which it's on its way. Ending on January 5th. That's when the last week completes. So there's 4 weeks there, and if you miss out on it, you don't have immediate access to the reward, but we'll hook you up a little later.
Yep. And we get to give you multiple ways to kind of go about
Yeah.
how you unlock it. So.
Yeah. So there's no one way to do it. We know that some people are more proficient at, say, medic over a support, and vice versa. So we want to be able to cater to your playstyle.
I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I love about the assignments.
I was trying to weave it over there.
I saw the segment,
Nice.
and I'm riding that
guy's
segment
natural.
down Long Beach.
I'm a big, I'm a big fan of.
Yeah, 2 of 3. You don't have to
Yeah.
complete all 3 or in a row. If the assignment has 3 things, all you have to do is do 2 of them. Which, as a support player, I literally go for the assignments. Oh, shoot people or give ammo. Cool.
Easy.
Or revive squad mates. I got this.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm reading some questions here. Here's a good question from G.I. Joey. He's got great questions today. Dan, Joe, Jeff, Ben, are there new vehicles included with this new map update?
There are not. Everything that you're seeing is the same stuff that's in the regular vanilla maps. The map itself is the fresh new thing. Unfortunately, we did not get any new vehicles in for this one.
G.I. Joey, are you that proficient with the Panzer that you're moving on already? Come on, man. I challenge you to become proficient here when you've got infantry just lighting you up left and right.
The game's been out for a while. There are players that they've gotten there.
I know, they're max ranked. They're max ranked,
They are
and you're
heroes.
accruing company coin now.
It's true.
Because we fixed that issue.
Yes.
Yep, so that's good. So Ben, you you tried to segue into Chapter 1 assignments. So there are assignments here, right? And that is completely independent of the weekly missions. That
Or
you
the
can,
daily missions.
Or the
right.
daily missions. Do you want to give us a little glimpse into the assignments that you can?
For sure. Some of them are very much class. Like there's the class completion. You get a headshot over a certain number of meters, score a set number of points of explosive damage, build a number of stationary weapons, or revive a set number of teammates in one life as a medic. And that's how you'll get your class completion, which is one of the assignments.
There's 3 kills.
Yep.
So that's another one. Get a set number of headshots in one life. Get a triple kill, get a set number of kills while your bipod is deployed in one life. Now, our caveat here is that we haven't locked down quite the quantities yet. I know those were coming through, so we'll see that as soon as the game releases. So we were kind of tweaking last minute, right? And there's a couple other assignments, and I don't want to labor on them too much, but you'll be able to find them in game. And obviously, there's all sorts of chapter
tons of
rank rewards, right? So here's another element.
Oh my goodness.
As you progress through the chapter, you complete missions, you play games. As you rank up your weapons, you start to chip away at your chapter rank. And as your chapter rank increases, you unlock things, right? So chapter 1 reward. Once you hit rank 1, you get an Overture emblem. What do you get for number 2?
A dog tag.
A
bronze.
dog tag. So I'm looking here. There's special. You unlock more special assignments, more
Aircraft
decals.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Weapon
That's
sets.
a lot of things.
my
In
goodness.
addition to just your regular progression of your weapons and your class and your character. So
Panzer IV tank body.
Yeah, you're now unlocking stuff
Look
for the
at that.
vehicle customization.
That's awesome.
So like you said, chapter rank number 17, you get the Panzer IV tank body, right? And that's part of our vehicle visual customization.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
I want to see rank 20. I wish we had an asset for that.
I know.
Because that just Dead Man's Hand soldier set for Allied side and the Overture dog tag gold.
That's pretty cool.
That sounds dope.
Damn.
I'm digging it.
Well, that's pretty much chapter 1 Overture. Okay. So if we're going to summarize there, and I know I kind of like halfway summarized, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot.
First of all, we have all of our messaging that's going to be going live on battlefield.com and across our social channels. So if you really want to dive into that, as soon as we release the update, you'll be able to follow along with some of our blogs and some of our posting. But again, so Chapter 1 Overture is coming soon. We saw some issues with game and server issues, in which we're wanting to iron out. So we will give an update tomorrow when to expect Overture to drop. You've got 4 weeks of different missions going on. You got all sorts of chapter assignments that unlock several dozen items. Some really cool stuff. So I hope to see you out there. It's going to be cool.
I'll be there.
Let's take a break. So during our capture event, I sat down with Westy and just he's a beast with the MG42. He was playing Devastation. Let's take a look at some of the carnage that he brought to the battlefield. Dude, look at this. He's not done.
I literally just unlocked this gun this weekend.
Did you really?
Yeah, and it is kind of a beast,
It's an incredible rate of fire.
right?
Woo! I do not want to be on the receiving end of that. No. So you got good news.
What's my good news?
We're doing a giveaway.
Nice.
Yeah. Have you ever done one of our giveaways?
I have not.
No, because this is your first live stream.
So it is. So how do I pick somebody?
Well, Jeff.
Well, we do Twitch random rolls. So if
Okay.
you've been talking in the Twitch chat, they're automatically entered. and then you'll say roll it, and then our fantastic, amazing, talented producer will click the roll it button. Some dice will fall down on the screen. We still got that, right?
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Awesome.
Awesome. Dice will roll down the screen, and a name will pop up. You say the name. You can butcher it if you want.
Probably it's
My
better not be said slaughter.
My favorite is still Kingles 10 because it took me like 3 different tries to just say it. It's Kingles, but I was like Kingless, Kinglaze, and he and I follow each other on Twitter now and talk. And I'm like, "What's up, Kinglaze?" But yeah, so that's how it does.
What are we giving away though?
What are we giving away, Daniel?
We're giving away a Battlefield 5 Deluxe Edition code for
snap.
the platform of your preference. So, Jeff, my man, will reach out to you on DM.
Yep, I'll message you after the stream via Battlefield's Twitch channel. You have to be following to receive the message. So if you're not following the Twitch, you may not get the message, and you may not get your code.
We are such a tease. Chat is going insane. They're just roll it already. Roll it. Okay.
You know what? Let's not do a giveaway.
Anyways, let's move on to our next segment. All right, Ben.
All right, roll it.
Boom.
Tank_Hunter1.
Not
Easy.
following.
Not following us.
So, Tank Hunter, if you want your code, you have to follow us before the end of the stream.
Yeah.
Because if I reach out to you and you don't get the message, well,
Well,
we'll
we're
just
going
have
to
an
choose a
extra
new
code
one.
for next time.
This
Yeah.
is my
Gonna give
first
it to Ben.
time. You really need to follow. It's my first,
Don't make Ben feel bad.
Yeah. He's a tank player too,
Yeah,
so that's
that's it.
another stab at him.
At least on Panzerstorm I am.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Tank Hunter. Oof. You're like, oof. Okay, so yeah, they very much know that they need to be following us. Jeff's going to reach out to you. We'll get your platform preference. If you already have Deluxe Edition, hook up a friend.
Yeah, there
The
you go.
holidays are here. You know,
Tis the
pretty
season.
cool
Just
little
got a
gift.
free Christmas present for a friend.
Yeah. Okay. I'm excited about this next segment. Okay.
Tell me
We
why.
just saw Panzerstorm, a massive map. Kudos to you and the team here at
Thank
Dice
you.
LA. This is one of my favorite maps. I love it. 'Cause
And
I love tank.
I will just want to say, I also give a shout out to the Stockholm team. They did help us out on the map.
Oh,
It wasn't
absolutely.
just a solo Dice LA effort. We all hands helped out on this one.
It takes a lot of work to
It
get
does.
to get a game like this off the ground, you know?
true.
Yeah. So the next segment, we're going to take an exclusive look at something that the community has been asking for a long time in our franchise, the practice range. It's exactly what it is.
That's right.
It's a sandbox that allows you to test out weapons, test out planes, test out vehicles without the chaos of someone always trying to headshot you. It's
Unless
pretty
you
cool.
play with
Unless
Jeff,
you turn on
yeah.
friendly fire when they're trying to load into one of the
Yes.
planes, and then you jump on an AA and have good time.
So let's hop in, okay? We're going to be playing just alone, solo, but to your point, you could bring up to 3 buddies into the practice range.
Yep.
You can
Yeah.
play with each other.
There's even a like a car race.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude,
So,
it's so cool.
so right now, we're obviously playing the solo. I know there's going to be questions around how you turn on the friendly fire. There's a little switch in game. You flip the switch, and it globally tells the other 3 players in the game that friendly fire's on, and then you could grief them. But right now, what we're doing is we're taking a look at the shooting trial. And so this allows you to practice your fundamentals of marksmanship with a wave-based mode. So right now we're playing a wave. Obviously Ryan is freaking badass at this game and is just lighting it up.
That's what he does.
Here we go. Yep, taking out the different decoys or the. Oof! I jinxed them.
He did. He's got it back. He's got it back.
There we go. Wave completed. Now all of your score, your high scores, are saved locally. It's not pushed up to a server.
Right.
Our team in Stockholm did a great job of bringing practice range to life here, but we'd love to hear what the community thinks about it. You know, if there's any ways that we can improve it or some features that we should add to this. This is as much our game as it is yours, so let us know.
Yeah, make sure when you do jump into it, we've got threads on Reddit, we've got threads on the official Battlefield forums, Facebook groups, Discord. There's quite a few awesome Battlefield Discords, including the official Battlefield Discord. Hit us up on Twitter. Keep in mind, if you hit us on Twitter, we may direct you to go post a more lengthy thread so you can expound, because 280 characters is a lot, but sometimes you really want to get into the nitty gritty, and always keep it constructive. You know, if you don't like something, that's fine. If something's not working, let us know. But keep it constructive, because we're chasing solutions. We're chasing to make it better.
So I got a question here, or more of a statement from Au Grand Jour. Looks like it's Hamada with some picnic tables. Basically, yeah, no, this was modeled after Hamada. This looks like Capture Point F.
Yes.
And so we kind of took some pre-existing assets and then added a bit on it, so that way it facilitates some of the training grounds that we have.
It's not a custom space. This is the Hamada ruins basically, and it's built around these trial areas basically. So what Ryan's doing right now is a shooting trial, which has different waves of enemies, which are these static or slightly moving or just moving targets that you get different points based on if you hit them in the head or hit them in the body and whatnot. This map rather, is such a great area to run around in. It's a great deathmatch space and domination space. It just lends itself really well to these sorts of setups.
So there's 3 different types of waves that we can choose from. There's the rapid fire wave,
Right.
so you practice taking out as many targets as possible. That's what he was doing.
Right.
There's a long range wave, allows players to practice proficiency with scopes.
That's what he was doing with the scopes.
I definitely need that help.
Yeah, me too.
I am no sniper.
I can roll sniper pretty good.
Oh, all
This
right.
guy, tanks and snipers.
So we're going to put the practice range of use. All right. And then the hunt wave. Board of standing, find and chase targets in that one.
Yeah, that was the last one you saw Ryan doing, running around and finding these targets in different places.
So what are the available weapons that you can choose from here in the shooting trial?
It looks like we have the SG-44, I think you have the Sten, the FG-42, and the Lee Enfield number 4, I believe.
Yeah, okay, so you got a good balance between the 4 classes. Yeah.
And this is something I remember from Battlefield 4 had a training range, and that's how exactly what you were talking about. I learned how to fly because you don't want to learn how to fly in a map because everyone gets mad at you because you just all take off and smash into the ground. It's a nice, like, you want to try a new weapon but you don't want to let your team down or anything like that. You can come in here, practice, like, you know, where can I bipod? How do I bipod when you're using the FG-42?
Or even if you need to do like detail setups of your controls and whatnot, and
Yeah, exactly.
what sensitivities are. Yeah.
Question from Paradox 1. What? Not every weapon? We gave you the base weapon. Okay? And obviously, that's feedback that we want to hear. If there's some place that we can expand on, let us know. You know, we're going to take it into serious consideration.
See what we can do.
What happened there, Ryan? Did you die? How did you die in practice range?
Trial right now. I'm off the trial.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let's actually watch a wave, and we're going to commentate on him. Let's see how he can do under pressure.
Go,
Okay,
Ryan.
so let's go back to the shooting trial. Which wave are you going to do? What do you think you're best at? So you're going to do the rapid fire, or are you going to do the long range?
Yeah, rapid fire.
Okay, rapid fire. So in this one, we have to take out as many targets as fast as possible. I say we because we're helping him.
We're cheering him on.
Yeah, more some support here. Okay, next wave.
Don't screw it up, Ryan. We believe in you.
Okay, what weapons you got here?
Looks like the SG-44?
Yep.
STG-44.
All right, so.
Make it happen, Captain.
Oh. Come on. MLG.
So do you have to get headshots?
I don't think so.
You don't have to. You get more points if you get headshots.
Is it does it take the amount of health it takes is basically how much it would take to kill a person, or?
That I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
So now saying, yo, go back, pick up a light machine gun. So this is where you get the FG-42.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got that anti-air sights on there. So you get a couple seconds to kind of collect yourself, breathe, and then you're moving on to the next wave. There we go. Yeah, okay, so you're taking body shots too, and it's counting, it's registering.
You probably get more points.
Yeah. You get more points for the headshot.
And you get a sweet explosion.
And the sweet explosion. Everyone
That's
loves
worth it
explosions.
alone, yeah. How well do you think you do at this, Jeff?
I did all right last time I played it.
I could see a lot of the community uploading videos of how fast they can do it.
Oh,
Right,
absolutely.
like personal time trials.
Yeah.
And then comparing each other and stuff like that.
Yep.
Which that would be super cool. You know, maybe in a future update, that kind of option. Obviously, you know, you'd want to be able to compare with friends because I really don't want to compare with Florian.
Nobody does.
No one does. So in this next wave, he's got the Lee Enfield, and it's going to be all about scope, sniper,
This is all
long range
precision,
shots, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
This is his game.
Oh, this is great.
This is his game.
And there you go. So then you have your counter up there in the top, obviously wave 4, but then that was how many practice dummies
Right,
you had
right.
left to take out.
And your
Now
scores
he's,
down there.
Yep. Now he's going back, so he's going to get the Sten. And it's our 4th wave. So we got a lot of people asking about bipods. And there was an issue with bipods with some
Super
of the
deploying.
Yeah, being able to deploy that, and there's like some auto deploy issues.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's something that we're looking at. I was talking with Yakub, and it looked like they had a resolution in place, and they were just doing some more testing. I'm not sure if it's coming in this update, but there's an extensive amount of updates,
Right.
14 pages worth.
I mean,
It's in there somewhere.
It's 1/10 of the update that we had at launch, but it's still a lot of stuff in there. So those notes should be going live soon, and you'll be able to check them out. We're gonna have what we did, the same thing what we did with the launch update. We're gonna have an overview, kind of the top hits, and then you're gonna have a PDF that you can download, read at your leisure. I know Thomas Rogers will probably print it up, put it in a binder, and take it to work like he did with the 139 page
His
one.
wave. Okay, so that was great. We got a good taste of the shooting trial. So he completed the rapid fire. Now he's going on to the hunt. If you complete all 3, then you go into a mode where it says put your game face on, because a ticket counter will appear that bleeds tickets over time. Hitting a target rewards 5 points for headshots. So you go into like a blitz round.
Right,
You try to complete that, then
Trying
you'll
to
complete the
survive as
shooting
long
trial.
as you can, yeah.
I'm tired of shooting things. Let's drive. So in this next mode, we're going to try the driving trial. And this is something I certainly need practice on.
Around in a
Yeah,
couple
because
wagon.
it's the opposite of what Dan does.
seen this
It's
yet.
driving, not sitting. So,
Wow.
y'all thought it was going to be on me, didn't you?
It's called tactical waiting.
Yeah,
So-
AKA tactical camping.
Oh, well, that's a bad word someplace.
So in this one, he's going to go find the driving trial range. Should be up here. So pulls a lever, and then a Kugelwagen.
Oh, I'm still in the other trial.
Oh, how do we get out of that?
I think I just gotta wait for tickets.
He's got to wait for a ticket to...
I'll call it.
Oh, we have to wait for the 50 seconds to
think
bleed down.
so.
All right, we got some airtime to fill.
All right.
Okay, let's take some questions from the community.
Sing some song.
Plane practice in game.
Yes.
Yes.
And the cool thing is, you walk up to the runway, and you can switch which plane you want to practice with. So
We could go check it out now, in fact, while we're waiting the timer to go down.
Yeah, head to the airfield.
Can't you head to the airfield?
You can. Nope.
Nope.
No, it's the other way. He's just going to skirt around the perimeter of the map. Oh, it would be right there.
Yes.
But because we're in a wave,
Right.
yeah, it took
15
it out.
tickets left.
So let's show them that, and then we'll do the driving trial.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, Dan and I were having a lot of fun with that in Sweden, because the planes handled differently than obviously biplanes for World War I and jets in Battlefield 4, and so I wanted to get much better at them. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a great pilot, but I'm a lot better than I was, because I was able to jump in and get the mechanics, get my inverted yoke and all of that, and it really does help. And I think that's one of the things that a lot of people, I know that a lot of people in the community have asked, like, dude, I want to understand the weapons better, I want to understand the gameplay mechanics better, and so the practice range will definitely help with that.
So I got a question from B-Boy Kicks. Did we go through the update notes yet? No. That's going to be a little later in the stream. There's a lot to go through, so stick around. We'll be going through that. But right now, we're going to go on to the second trial of our practice range, really start dialing in your skills, and here is the driving trial. So here we go. Pulled the lever, Kugelwagen showed, and now his objective here is to drive through each of the goalposts, or the little milestones. So he's trying to drive through this as fast as possible. Here we go. Let's see if he can do it.
And just to answer Amoeba while he's doing this, yes, you don't have to play the mini games. That you don't have to do the trials in the practice range. You can just jump in and fool around, shoot guns, things like that. But the trials give you something to shoot at. You can jump in with your friends if you want to make some crazy fun videos. We can do that as well. the mini trials, they're not really required, but they do help get a better understanding and grasp of the various classes and weapons and vehicles and things like that.
You know, Ryan, if this whole game development thing doesn't work out for you, you'd be a great Uber driver. Assuming there's some war-torn battlefield.
One
I mean, that is the 405, right?
Yeah, it's pretty close, pretty close.
I always feel like I'm heading towards Thunderdome when I'm going down the 405.
I love the challenges to hit all the,
Yeah.
the target people.
Brother.
That's
There
gonna
it
cost
is.
you.
There, you're back on the
Yeah.
That's gonna cost you.
Uh-huh.
So I think though those 4 weapons we had talked about were only for the shooting range, and you can come in with anything that you have, any
Yeah.
weapon or loadout that you have. So I think you can come in here and just practice with whatever. But if you're doing the shooting trial specifically or with
Yes,
your locking
I remember
That's
that.
true. Yeah, there is a weapon rack that you
Yeah.
can go and pick up different.
Any
And
of
so
the
we go
guns.
to the shooting range, and you could check out all the different weapons.
Yes.
So that was specifically for the trial.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So here, obviously, he's trying to get as. Whoa!
taking the shortcut. Yeah.
Hey, it worked.
I want to address something. 1-800 Your Mama. This update, like all updates for Battlefield 5, is free. So there's no milking of money.
Yeah, at all. This is free for
Yeah, for
anybody who
anyone that
owns
owns the game.
Battlefield. Whether
Standard
you
or
own
deluxe.
Standard Edition or Deluxe, yeah, or obviously Origin Access. So
Much-
it's free for everyone.
Much like a 1-800 number.
We're not going to charge you. That was our commitment from the
See what
get-go.
you did there.
Nice.
Phone jokes.
Remember landlines?
I do remember
Yeah.
I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised at how the Tides of War rollout happens, how much stuff we're giving everyone for free.
Yeah.
Even compared to when you look at what our X packs were, and now everybody's getting this stuff for free is crazy.
Yep.
No more dividing the community.
Yep.
Everybody
It's-
can play where they want to play, what they want to play, as it's released.
So this is the driving trial is gonna end here in 30 seconds. Let's let that end. Don't hit anymore because I think you get time added when you actually successfully run someone over. Oh, that was nice.
That was nice.
Nitro Circus right there. So let's go to the open range because people have been wanting to see the planes in action, and you can actually switch between a bomber or a fighter, and you can really start to dial in your air
Start
skills.
to actual practice.
Yeah.
That is definitely something I need. I cannot fly planes.
Me either. I'm so bad.
I could do choppers, but planes.
But that's why I need this, because
Yeah.
I do not want to be the guy that goes into a map and takes a plane and just flies it into a mountain.
There's Ryan practicing his reverse skill.
So you need that for when he's an Uber driver, I guess.
We get that developer tag next to our name too, so it's even more embarrassing.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're in the open range. And so let's go over to the airfield, because I want to show a specific area where you can turn friendly fire on and off in some other settings. So around the map, you have different little interactive modules that start different things. So here, if we hold E, this would activate, what did it activate? Okay, little denoting where the different things are, right? Vehicles to the right, you got airplanes down here. If you go left, Ryan, there in that bunker, this little tent, you have some interactive switches as well. And on the left side, you have friendly fire.
Yep.
Oh, to the left. So you could teleport specifically to an area, so cut down on some of that foot traffic. I know there's a friendly fire around here somewhere. Or maybe you have to have another person in the server with you.
Probably. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so let's
Yeah,
go check
'cause
out the
then you'd just be
airfield.
shooting yourself. Then that's not friendly.
No. So he's going to teleport 15 feet.
Wait, Ryan, turn around. What's the box? What's in the box?
Teleport home.
Ah, okay, don't do that.
15 feet.
Okay, so here, if you look at the switch next to the plane, you can change which plane. So here you're a fighter, and switch over to a bomber. There you go. Let's hop in. So this is classic right here. I started playing Battlefield in 1942, where planes were all on an airstrip.
Right.
And you had to take off like this, or whether it was on a carrier. And I love trying to land that thing because I never did.
And if you guys will notice in the mini map, there is AI fighters that he's engaging. So you're
These are
not
bots.
just you're not just flying around looking at the beautiful scenery. You're really able to engage other fighters to get the beat on how to strafe, how to
approach them.
Right, right.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
which is a lot of fun. Like just doing that is
Yeah.
fun.
And like Mirik 2 NP says, you can squad practice.
Yes.
Here's where you can start laying down your strategy. Whether someone's going to hop into a tank, and then you got a recon that's lighting everybody up with spotting, and then you're coming in with the bomber. This is where you really start to lay down your tactics.
Absolutely. Squad play. That's what Battlefield's about.
Yeah, I've seen some YouTubers that do squad play with fighters, and it's brutal. How much they can just own the skies.
So, and sorry to cut you off. Our producer's saying, hey, we've got questions coming in. So Blueberry Mercenary says, can we fight friends on practice range, or is it co-op only?
That would be the ability to turn on friendly fire.
Yep.
Yes. So yes, you and 3 friends can jump in, and when they're not looking, you can turn friendly fire on and shoot them, or drive over them in a tank, or fly into them with a plane.
Or do it while they're looking because you're all friends, Jeff.
Right. No.
Just wait for them to get a drink.
And then the other one,
From G.I. Joey.
from G.I. Joey,
Man,
look,
almost-
is the current rank, like he's asked like 9 times, so is the current rank going to be increased, Daniel?
I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Little surprise.
Tension.
Yeah.
Anticipation.
Honestly, I don't know.
It just drains it all out.
There's a lot going in this update.
There is.
So let's figure that out together as a community as soon as we release this.
We're going on a journey.
Yep. Custom emblems, obviously that's something that we're working on. New weapon assignments. There's all sorts of different assignments that you can unlock and are available to you. In fact, we went through all that at the first part of this show, so
Right.
apologies if you missed that. You can always look back. There's a lot of great questions coming in. So obviously practice range by yourself can, it's really a lot more fun with other friends, you know. But I've found that I've been able to dial in some of my Twitch-based firing, because there is a range for that too.
Yeah.
If we could find that, you could really start, you're in one static position and it's all about moving really quick, getting the Florian Drunksy going on, you know. Here we go, here's
The
a practice
Florian
range.
Drunksy?
Yeah,
Did you
it's the
did you
Drunksy
just verb
effect.
him?
You did.
Nice.
We were all here.
How
for that.
drunksy are you?
Not drunksy enough.
Not drunksy enough.
It's still early.
All right, so here we go. We're going to go to the shooting exercises. And you'll see here on the right side, the smiley face. That's the Twitch-based. So he's going to pick up a weapon. He'll pull the lever. Here's your weapon rack. So as you're talking, you have
Booyah!
access to all the weapons.
It's literally the trials is limited to class weapons.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And flip the switch, and he's got all these different little targets that come up as fast as possible.
Faster.
And you can
That's
increase
it.
the difficulty. Notice that. It says difficulty easy. The switch next to it is the difficulty increaser.
I mean, Ryan's good, okay?
He is.
And even this is a challenge. Because it takes a lot of manual dexterity here.
Yeah.
The fact that he does as well as he does when he knows people are watching.
I know.
Too.
There's a lot of
I
pressure.
instantly get worse when I know people.
Right? Exactly.
So on the wall to the right is where you can practice spray patterns. So it's just a blank wall.
Handy.
Yep.
Do your own smiley face.
So what are you gonna be using most, Ben?
I've been playing sniper a lot, but I think after I get everything unlocked where I want it, I think I'm going to be mostly an assault player. I feel like it's just so well-rounded. People actually are really good at giving health and ammo, I think, in this in Battlefield 5 more so than even in BF1 or even BF4.
Yep.
So I feel like I can actually hold my own out there without basically being able to give myself ammo.
Yeah. Some people are commenting as he's playing. Like Shooter, yeah, Shooter 8995 TV. This is amazing. You can test news sensitivity and etc. Yeah, you could dial in your DPI and not have to worry about getting headshot. You know, getting blown up in the heat of an actual live server, which I'm excited about. So it always takes me a little while through trial and error to really dial it in, and I'm like 3 rounds in. I'm like, well,
You got to warm up somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what deathmatch is for.
yeah, that's why this is cool. And then you got a question from Raptor81. Why is the update delayed? Well, we addressed earlier for just joining us. Obviously, we're checking out the Battlefield 5 Tides of War Chapter 1 Overture update. And as we were going through some of our certification, we ran into a couple issues with the game and server. We want to polish those up. Obviously, we don't want to crank out something that is subpar. You know, DICE is known for its great quality.
It's true.
And we want to make sure every one of our releases are up to quality. So we want to take the extra time and really put in some good work to make sure that this is a solid build, that the servers are great, and that the experience on day one is going to be great. So we'll have an update for you tomorrow with a new release timing.
We've got another question. That's a good one. From Mayhem Fighter. Dan, any chance of getting a deluxe upgrade pack? I'm just stuck with standard.
Oh, it's easy, yeah. It's all there. You can upgrade your version to deluxe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's through the marketplace on your console. It's in Origin for PC.
Yep. You can even do it through the in-game store.
Yeah.
So,
It's all there.
yeah, it's there. And you'll be able, and just to reiterate what comes with deluxe, because there's been a bit of confusion, you get 5 soldier sets you get to pick 5 out of 8. And these are like premium sets, because if you look at how much a soldier set costs in-game with company coin, it's like 15K.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
5 of them is 75K. That's a lot of grind, but you get 5 immediately. Then you get special assignments for being deluxe, and you get 20 airlifts. Now, to clarify again, because we had some confusion over last week, an airlift is 1 item, and it is, you get 20 of them, so you get over 20 weeks, you get 1 item per week. They're automatically added to your shipments under your armory. And then you go in. The first one, depending on when you added a deluxe entitlement to your account, is the Lest We Forget emblem. And then you start getting the Red Devil skins for the KE7 and these, I can't say it, Sturmgewehr?
Sturmgewehr.
Sturmgewehr?
Say that you can pronounce. Yeah.
That was an easy one.
That's not all. There's also...
Slow to learn.
Yeah, right? Some slatter Sturmgewehr. I almost went Swedish with the
Watch out there.
I love my family back in Stockholm.
They don't love you right now.
They do. Dude, they dealt with me for 2 weeks in the war room. We're fine. We have bonded, and we're too close now. But there's also some sidearm customizations, 2 skins for that, and then there is another set that will be coming. So we're gonna have more information. We're working on ironing out that final detail on that set, and we'll have a blog post about that coming soon. That'll literally detail everything, because the cool thing about airlifts, there's no randomization. Everybody gets the same thing.
Yep.
It just depends on when you add deluxe to your account.
What's great about the deluxe thing too is with Christmas coming up is you ask for the game and you always get the standard edition and you're always like, oh, you know what I mean? Like
Thanks, Grandma.
Exact, Grandma, the worst.
Standard.
Throw it at her.
Some darn socks and standard edition.
Wow.
No offense to anybody who got standard, but they can always ask Grandma for that deluxe upgrade.
But dude, grandparents are supposed to hook you up. That's
They
the
are.
thing. That's
They
the
are.
thing.
But then you can upgrade it on your
the
own
gift
and
cards
you
you
can
can
be
buy
happy.
deluxe.
Yeah.
There we go.
My grandma knows what's going on.
Right?
She's gonna get me the cream of the
Your
crop.
grandma's all digital this year.
Oh yeah. Actually, she's on Facebook. She's liking everything. She shares all my stuff. She's pretty cool.
It might be G.I. Joey.
Some of the comments, some of the comments in chat. Just standard, grandson. Deal with it.
Okay. Anyways, we've had a lot of practice range. This is a really cool environment. Katarina and her team and DICE Stockholm have done a great job bringing this. Our community has asked for this environment for a long time.
Yeah.
So we're really excited with rolling this out to you and getting hands-on. Like I said, if you have any feedback, I know you will. Jeff and I are very much in our channels. Ben and Joe are always on our channels too. Light us up. Let us know what you think about it.
Please do.
So let's move on. I've got a UGC clip.
this is a good
Before I
question
do, a
because I've been
little
getting
tease
these.
there. Okay.
This is about the airlift stuff because people are really, so I got my deluxe pre-order. This is from Dastosha, whatever. I got my deluxe pre-order in the start of June, more than 20 weeks ago. Still haven't had all 20 airlifts. Right. So you'll get so I got my pre-order back in June as well on PC, and when I logged in, I had 15 airlifts already ready to claim. And so I'm just waiting on the final 5. So you'll get up to 15 for launch of November 15th, and then after that, 1 a week until you hit your 20, and then you're good.
Yeah.
So-
That's pretty. It makes sense.
It makes sense,
Yeah. Then you get a crap load. Right
Like as soon
there
as you
when
log in,
find
I was like,
whoa!
because I'm picking my 5 soldier sets, and then I've got all this stuff in my shipments. I was like, I'm rich.
and then add that to all the different outfit sets that you get.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you get a lot with Deluxe Edition,
Mm-hmm.
and if you break down the math, those paratrooper sets are pretty valuable.
Well, and the outfits also come with weapon skins.
Boom! Look at that. See?
So
Thanks, G.I. Joey, for giving me Standard Edition. Could have got Deluxe Edition, got all this cool stuff. Anyways, I've got a cool clip from 2 Angry Gamers. This is on Twisted Steel. We were talking about this over lunch. That bridge is so contentious.
Yes.
Obviously, our community's been playing that. I think that's one of the favorited moments there in Battlefield when you're trying to take over that bridge. This is something they call the bridge push. Let's check it out. If you look closely, I was playing in the server. He takes me out, Dan X, with all sorts of other of our community members. And then I don't know if Tommy or Adam was either in the plane, and then one was in the tank, just completely destroying. He did another run on us. Look at that.
Having the tank on that bridge is so fun because it's so tight, but you're so powerful, especially when he's flanked with all the infantry like that.
Yeah. Dude,
That is
2
ridiculous.
angry gamers, 2 brutal gamers.
10 angry gamers down on that bridge.
I know, yeah.
Being murdered.
And as we know, whenever we do a clip, we tend to marry that with a giveaway. Oh!
It's giveaway time.
Yeah. Man, Jeff is this is what happens when we go to dinner. Just always on his phone.
I'm engaging with the community.
I announced something like big giveaway, and he's just,
yeah, I'm watching people to say stuff.
you got called out on stream.
You did.
You're trying to save face right now.
Called out.
I'm not really worried about it.
I can see his phone. It's totally not Facebook.
I got 2 Twitches.
Okay.
I'm double twitching.
Okay, yeah, you are multitasking over there. Anyways, Joe, should you roll it? So,
yes.
so how do we win?
Oh, how do we win? What do
Yeah,
you mean,
how
do we
does someone win?
You have to be in the Twitch chat for one, and in order to actually get the reward, you have to be subscribed to the Twitch chat. Follow the Twitch.
Right,
Twitch.
subscribers are for partnered Twitch accounts. We don't partner.
Gotcha.
Well, we're not Well, we're kind of It's weird. We're slightly partnered. We just don't accept donations, so you can't really subscribe to us.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You can just follow.
We don't want your money, just enjoy our streams.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, don't tell the marketing team that or anybody who runs businesses, but yeah. So just be following us.
And Dan just called himself out.
There it is. Language is a
Welcome
beautiful
to
thing.
karma, bro.
Let's roll it.
Okay, let's roll it. Boom!
Oh.
Killer Mike.
Killer Mike is our winner.
Killer_Mike.
You think it's the real Killer Mike?
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh,
Could be.
I don't know.
I'm just
I
saying.
wish we had like some Halloween soundtrack on the background there.
Killer Mike, if you know LP, tell him I said hello.
Yeah.
I don't know either of you.
He's been following us since May 26, 2017, about a year and a half now.
Nice.
So thank you for following us. Jeff's going to reach out to you on Twitch
Yep.
DM. We'll get your platform of preference if you're not on Deluxe Edition already. You are now.
Yep.
If you already have it, give it to a friend. Give it to grandma.
Yeah, give it to your grandpa.
And
Give
if
it
you,
back to
if, you have,
Grandma.
if you have standard edition on console, you can give your friend a standard edition. They can still join you, and you can just redeem that deluxe code. Because console, you'll get 2 codes: one for the game, one for the deluxe upgrade. PC, it's just 1 code.
Okay, great. Cool.
Just so you're aware.
Some options. out there.
Congratulations. Very cool. Okay, so the third big thing that's coming out with Chapter 1 Overture,
Yes.
our update that's going to be coming soon. Let me go through the spiel again. In case you're just joining us now, You're checking out Battlefield 5 Tides of War Chapter 1 Overture. I'm joined by some of our pros here at DICE Los Angeles, but this was a team affair between LA and Stockholm that we're bringing this new Panzerstorm map to you, one of the biggest maps that we've seen in Battlefield 5 to date. We just went through the practice range. I do have to caveat, we saw a couple issues as we were going through certification. We're smoothing those out. So we had to delay the update. It was proposed for tomorrow. But as soon as we have the new release timing, we'll let you know, and I'll have an update for you tomorrow. So be sure to tune into the Battlefield channels. What we're going to check out next, as we're going through now, is the vehicle visual customization. This is something we've been asking for since launch, and now we're finally going to be bringing it with Chapter 1 Overture. So now you can finally personalize your vehicles.
Look how okay.
You can make your tank look like it's wearing corduroy.
That is one dapper tank.
It is a dapper tank.
I was like, is that a
Did you
Lego
have
tank?
corduroy pants when you were a kid?
I did.
Oh my
Didn't we
God.
all have corduroy
Oh
pants?
yeah, I love those things.
Very-
You run too fast, you start a fire.
Right.
You know that's the sound.
Yeah. My lady's always yelling at me about my noisy pants and noisy shorts. She knows I can't sneak up on her.
These are not stealth assassin pants.
They are not. They are not. They're
That
fashionable.
might make a scary
I
movie.
don't know about fashion.
Corduroy killer.
Killer.
Oh, dude.
It already has the alliteration. We're halfway there.
Anyways, let's talk about games and not fictitious horror movies. So he's decking out a plane here. Ooh, that's
nice job.
cool.
Nice.
Confirm.
So now there's all sorts of ways to sink your company coin into and start unlocking weapon skin or vehicle skins for planes and tanks.
That's cool.
So nose art. Like, you know, my motorcycle helmet is based off of a Warhawk from World War II. It's green and it's got the teeth and it's even got like the exhausts on the side painted on. It looks really dope, and I got it because obviously Battlefield 5 and my motorcycle's based off of the tank in Battlefield 1. So I'm just a big, you know, obviously I'm a big fan. I'm looking forward to the nose paints.
Yes, so let's go. Okay, and people are asking right now. They're like, let's see those nose paints. Let's go through every vehicle and let's go through the different customization items we can do. Let's start on the left. Okay, so we're going to start with this
Rip
Panzer
company
5.
coins.
Panzer 4.
That's trending right now. Rip company coins because they know they're going to be spending.
There we go. Okay, so here we have the Panzer 4, and you can apply the Scorpion skin or the Gelbron using company coin.
Or don't go grab.
Don't pronounce all of these.
Oh, that's what I like. Thank goodness.
So there goes 27,000 company
Don't go
coin.
grab.
Yeah. Just give me that scorpion
Okay.
already.
So here's the Panzer 38T, and
That's just a mean looking tank.
that is. And there's that corduroy tank. Africa.
Anti-stick coating.
Camo corduroy on that one.
How do you pronounce that one?
Get tunk.
Gatunk.
Getunk.
Gatunked.
Get down.
Get tunked on. I don't know. I got nothing.
Okay, and then we're gonna check out the Tiger 1 or Tiger I and yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff.
Schneetiger?
Dude, I'm digging the Schnin Tiger. Schnee Tiger. Go back to that.
Oh, dude.
Oh
the last,
man, with
wait,
the
go back to
camel
the
on it
last
too.
tiger.
The last tiger.
Oh,
Okay, complete all activities in the last Tiger war story to
I'm
unlock
playing
it.
that.
Right,
That's nice.
it's like completing the other war story.
Yeah.
When you get a certain weapons or skins.
And that's good. So, you know, in some titles that you have to complete the campaign in order to like unlock a weapon. And sometimes that weapon is pretty badass.
Yep.
We've put customization behind it.
Yep.
So yeah, okay, you don't play through the campaign, no biggie.
You
but
should.
you should because you unlock this badass thing.
Right?
That's really cool. Okay, now let's get into the planes.
Here we go.
All right. So right now we have full body plane skins. And I believe, here we go. Here's the nose art.
Oh.
Oh.
Snake bite. Oh, hell yeah.
cool.
Jeff, you're missing it, bro. Bavarian boar. That's sick.
Oh, wait, go back to the snake bite.
I'm digging the Bavarian boar.
Yeah, the Bavarian boars. That's
a decent
more my
price.
We're
flame.
gonna need more of those.
That's a pretty good price.
Yeah.
And you didn't know, but Bavarian boar was Jeff's nickname back in high school on the football team.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He was the Bavarian boar.
I cannot wait for manager feedback days.
It's a compliment, brother. You know, the boar is a worshipped animal in Bavaria.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Fake news. Okay, so now, hang on, let's go back to the other plane.
It's going so fast.
I know, he's like blasting through this. Okay, go to the Spitfire. That's the first plane. Okay, so let's check out the nose decals here. There's your Spitfire, the kicking ass, and the Screaming Eagle.
Oh, we're going to need some more of those.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know, okay, that's not limited here. We're
Right.
going to be delivering more
Chapter
through the Tides
1
of War.
of
Yes.
many chapters.
Yeah.
We're just registering that we're going to want a shark.
Oh, that's it, right there, shark teeth.
There it
That's
is.
it.
There it is.
Okay, bring in a different skin, because I'm not liking that skin, personally.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
Go back
bring
to
on the
Battle of
camera.
Britain.
Battle of Britain.
Shark
and
teeth.
throw on the shark teeth. That's super Bavarian boar style.
gotta equip it.
Wait.
There it is. That's my steez.
That's nice.
That's fantastic, dude.
That's sick.
That's really cool.
Okay, let's check out the bombers.
I need to learn how to fly.
Practice range.
I know.
There's the Blenheim.
Is that a hippo?
That is
That's
a hippo.
awesome.
You know, in high school,
Hippos are awesome.
Dan was known as the awesome hippo.
It is. I'll claim that.
They are
I'll own
actually
that.
one of the most dangerous animals in the world.
They are.
I know.
Because they can crush anything with their giant big
true.
mouths.
It's true.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I crush you. My mouth. I mean, look at this. Obviously, you need to go between the two factions. And we know that's been one of the gripes, and we're working on how to more. Oh, look at this! Grin and Gertie.
That's perfect.
That's trolly, man. I'm getting killed by that.
I'm having fun just checking out all these different options.
There you go.
Yeah. Northweld, Wield.
I like the Mediterranean desert.
You literally
Yeah,
barely
I
have
liked it.
enough.
All my coins.
You need to get back to work, Ryan.
Seriously, grind it out.
This was awesome.
I love that smile. That is great.
There's obviously all sorts of different. Every tank, every vehicle, every plane has its own nose decals and different skin sets. So get in there, check it out. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the cool customizations that people come in with. Okay, now let's talk about The Last Tiger. Okay, so in Battlefield 1, we introduced something called the War Stories. And it was a really awesome, innovative way of introducing these different storylines from different parts of the world. And you latch onto these different characters through various theaters of war. And it happened in different locales around the world. We adopt that same mentality here for Battlefield 5. And in Chapter 1 Overture, we introduce The Last Tiger, which is a German front taking place in the Rhine-Ruhr region in spring of 1945. You're playing as the Germans. So you're commanding one of the tanks, one of the Tiger tanks. I think they coined it Stefan, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. And you're trying to stave off the U.S. Army coming in with their Sherman tanks. And they have very proficient air superiority within that war story. So you're getting, bombs are dropping off and everything. Oh, okay, we got some screenshots here. That's what it was. Okay, producer was like, yo, pay attention. Look at that. So here's some glimpses here. Some of these you've seen throughout some of our promotions, whether it's on websites or social channels. This is the feel that you get. You're going through these war-torn cities as a German crew in a Tiger tank,
Yeah.
right?
And I think the entire war story is done in the German language.
That's
just like
the
other
cool
war
thing,
stories are.
yeah.
It's amazing.
So we
I
don't
don't know
wanna-
what they're saying, but I think it's amazing.
Well,
It's
there's
good.
subtitles.
Who's got time to read? I'm shooting.
I don't know, but he's really good at German.
It's true.
Just as long as they're not talking about the slep slaughter.
Everything else, I'm pretty good.
But it's just fantastic for immersion, to hear those voices. It's
Yeah. So any tips? Any pro tips if you're playing through war stories?
I have not played through the war
Ah.
story yet, so I'm going in completely blind.
Well, you're in a tank.
Yes.
What's some tips as a tank player? Because you need to adopt those here for the war stories.
You need to know when to kind of cut your losses back up and repair. So that's going to serve you in both single player and multiplayer. Is like sometimes you need to know, like, am I overcommitted right now? Because maybe you went into a situation and it was a good situation when you went into it, and then squad spawned on them, or if you're in single player, like a you know, some enemies spawn that you weren't expecting. It's okay to back out, repair, and come back into it and from a different angle or whatever.
I would imagine since it's a war story featuring tanks, you're going to be looking for weak spots on other enemy tanks,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
going to be kind of peeking your tank out there and then just trying to find just where you can disable the tanker to hit them for the most damage, so that'll be helpful.
And the same damage models in multiplayer are applied to single player. So keep your tank facing the enemy. That's where you're most protected.
Right.
And pick them off from afar.
Good
Yep.
old-fashioned tank tech.
Yep, and so you're going to see, like I said, U.S. Army Sherman tanks coming through, artillery, infantry, tank busting air superiority. I don't want to show any of that. I don't want to do any spoilers. So no, you didn't miss any gameplay from Last Tiger. I do not want to give away the secrets.
Right.
So hop in, check that out as soon as Overture releases. But we're going to jump back in. We already have back into Panzer Storm. This is creme de la creme. This is like one of the biggest maps that we've delivered in Battlefield 5.
German tanks rolling out.
Yep. So what's some of the more notable features here in Panzer Storm? What is some areas I should look out for?
Well, it depends on how you want to play. You know, the center of the map kind of has these the C, D, and E capture points, and those were built to sort of be the focal point for infantry to fight around without having to run long distances between capture points. So if you're going to be infantry, you want a tight infantry gameplay experience. You want to have that in the middle of this huge tank map. You want to fight along the center line CPs, the C, D, and E points. You want to try and be a sniper. You have multiple different opportunities of any high location. Find a wall, put your beacon down, and just go to town. Try and find your angles. Know that somebody else probably has an angle on you, no matter where you are. They will counter snipe you. You got the dairy up at the top of the map that you can run around and build fortifications, kind of hold down a position. That's what he's looking towards now. You have the swine farm that's further on beyond where they are. That's what he's looking at now is the center line of the map.
swine
Right.
farm, yeah.
So like there's a central battery and the forest cabin. Beyond that is the swine farm. It's a singular building that's kind of sitting out there. You fortify it up. You have health. You have ammo. You have your vehicle repair stations. You can own that space and have a nice little picnic out there. Kind of smells because it's a swine farm, but you know it's a video game, so it doesn't really smell.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't have any smell-o-vision, like
Seriously.
any devices that pump out swine feces into it.
Having to wash up after every game is it's no good. It's no good.
Although there are some pretty cool peripherals out there that change the temperature of air flowing at you. Yeah, so if you're like going through some sort of maybe fuel, you know, and you got all this wind rushing at you, some cool air
That'd be
coming
kinda
in,
neat, actually.
or an explosion happens and some fire blasts on you. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a possibility for peripherals there. We
Oh,
could sell
it's
those.
there, but we're looking at things.
Okay,
We're looking at
okay.
things.
I'm not gonna lie, I have something at home and it's really dope. Like it even
That's
does.
vague.
I know.
Well, can I mention it?
Yeah, his wife has an AC unit. She just looks at the game and
Oh, no, she
Oh,
doesn't.
you're on Hamada, we'll
Yeah.
turn it down and then
she has
turn
a
the
bucket
heater
of
on.
water, and when he goes through some puddles, she just throws water on him.
Good times. Good
Yeah,
times.
It's good times.
Pretty
It's
great.
good that you have your wife involved in your hobbies like that.
One of the most fun ways I've seen people play this map, I haven't done it because I'm a little bit of a lone wolf, is but especially when I'm playing tanker, squads that go in as like we're anti-tank, and they actually push out into the out of the cover and into the fields, and will actually go out and hunt down tanks. And it's super intense when you're in a tank and you feel kind of invincible, but once the infantry kind of turn it on you and start hunting you, it's intense, and you start like running away from
Exactly.
them. And if they build their squad right with like a medic, so it's like you kill one, he's back up, you're getting like Panzerfausted like again and again, and it's super intense, and it's a really fun way to play. So if you're playing with friends, getting in there not only as like a tank squad, but going in as being like, let's go hunt some tanks.
Yeah.
And pushing back into the fields and into their area where they feel safe. It's very intense.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it, man. Like I said, we got to play at the capture event, and I'm looking forward to rolling this out to the rest of the community. Look at this. This is a really great tank battle. Let's see how this turns out. So he's hitting on the side where tanks are most vulnerable. takes out someone probably trying to hop out of the tank, which.
Oh, now
Oh,
you
dude, here it is, here it is.
Uh-oh.
Come on.
What?
Ryan, take it. Yeah!
Oh, but
now
But
you
he's
get
getting
shot. Now
blasted
you're
on the
getting
side. Woo!
running back.
That's getting heated.
Oh,
Expert
nice.
tank driving. Got to know where the ridges are.
Uh-huh.
use a smoke.
Smoke it out, smoke it out.
Oh.
No!
Don't
Oh,
get
you
out
got-
of that tank. You die with that tank.
Not
Good
really. He
job,
got blown
dude.
out of it.
Good job. All right, so I've got another clip. This is from the one and only Ravik. This is taking place on Hamada, so one of our maps in North Africa. He takes a Kubelwagen, or known as the Thing,
Right.
you know, with some sticky dynamite.
Cheap stuff.
Cheap stuff. Let's check it out.
Cool stuff.
Kubel stuff.
Cool stuff.
Kubelwagen stuff.
Classic
Wagon.
Battlefield.
Kubelwagen?
Craft.
Look at it.
Yeah, do not get it. Oh, I hope he stays in. He's in it still. And then he goes to town. Like, he still cleans up. Look at this. With a pistol. Come on, that
While
guy.
on fire.
While on fire.
One day I'll be that good with
That was
pistols.
awesome.
That was
Great
pretty
job, Ravik. That was cool.
Yeah.
That guy
was-
was oblivious. That is social awareness 0.
I talk to my wife about that all the time. Like, I'll be in the kitchen and she just walks around and goes, ah! And I'm like, dude, situational awareness. Know what's going on in your AO.
I've seen people do that on Point B in Hamada with the Jeep. To actually, you can really fortify it up with and they'll actually just launch the Kubelwagen in with just to blow a hole in it.
Right,
and I'm
right,
like,
right.
oh, that's so cool. It's so tactical. Like, I love that kind of stuff.
So we've got about 10 minutes left of our stream, and I want to reserve this for the updates.
It's a
There's a
big
lot
update
going
list.
out. Yes,
Big list.
yes. It may not be 139 pages, but it's 14 pages of really good updates. We've listened to the community. There's been a lot of different issues we know here at launch. There's been end of round issues, which we fixed a lot. We've already fixed the max rank company coin accrual, and we are working on some sort of retroactive awarding. No guarantees, but we're working through something. But here with the Chapter 1 Overture update, we've got a whole host of different things that we're improving upon.
Yep.
But before we do, I've got a giveaway for you.
Who gets to say
Yes.
roll this time?
Daniel, you get to give it a
I've been clicking. So
true.
But
you
Ryan-
get to roll it,
All
brother.
right, then.
Okay, so if you've been chatting with us for the past 15 minutes on Twitch, you're automatically entered to win a deluxe edition
And
code.
you haven't won already.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay.
That's the thing. So let's roll it.
Giveaway.
Elite Death Dealer Squad. See, I like this name.
Following us as of today. Good job.
Well done.
Yeah.
It's got its own
They follow
art and everything.
instructions.
Yeah. Elite Death Dealer Squad.
Now, is it-
Congratulations,
is it-
Elite Death Dealer Squad. I will be messaging you out via Twitch DMs from the Battlefield channel to get your platform of choice and your region if you're on console. Thanks for following, and I'll make sure to get you that code in a little bit after the stream.
Do you think they're just badass? That's why they are a squad in and of themselves?
A squad of one.
Or is it like four people sharing a Twitch login? I can't tell.
So let's start getting into some of these updates. As Ryan Lempinski's playing the new Panzer Storm map, which looks gorgeous. It's huge. How big did you say it was?
I don't. We can't tell definite numbers yet. We can't count that high, but
Okay.
it's pretty big.
Okay.
It's up there.
It's on the vein of Hamada. Hamada's pretty
Big,
big.
yeah, yeah.
Hamada has different elevation. This is
Definitely.
more like that flat European countryside.
Rolling hills.
So if
tree
you're just
lines.
tuning in now, we've been checking out the Battlefield 5 Tides of War Chapter 1 update. Chapter 1 Overture update. It's been delayed. I don't have a new release timing for you yet. We're working through some game and server issues. We want to make sure that the release is nice and polished, ready to go, and it's that dice quality you expect. So be sure to stay plugged in. We're going to have some new update timing for you tomorrow, and we'll have an official word of when that will come out.
Yep.
But we do have updates, base game updates, and some of the top ones here, as drafted by Yakub Ajmal, one of our live producers, does an amazing job.
AKA
It's
Gun
amazing.
Hero.
Seriously.
He's a update hero.
Dude, he-
Being able to pull this together,
the thing I love about his updates, especially for Battlefield 5, is he not only tells you what's being changed and what's being worked on and fixed, he gives you the why.
Why? Yeah.
Yeah, because that's important. It's like, well, we changed this firing ratio from 0.45 to 0.36. Why? And he gives good reasons why. So
now we're going to be going through a lot over the next 10 minutes, and I do want to say that the update notes will be available live tomorrow, or excuse me, whenever we release the update. See, I'm still stuck in previous release mode. Whenever that's available, then we'll go ahead and publish that, so you'll be able to follow along. So some of the top updates here. Fix the bug where weapons would stay locked even if the player had reached the required level to obtain them. So now you won't get locked behind that.
That hit me.
Yeah, improvements for the issue involving infinite loading screens.
Man, we were just talking about that.
This should be drastically reduced with the update. So there is an issue kind of with some of the servers. I know there was some issues with some other internal software that was creating some end of round issues. So I think we've really significantly made impact there. And the third big top update is players no longer get into a soft hang when viewing assignments in game.
I was just talking
So
about
you were
that
just talking about that. Yeah. So now you won't have that fuzzy screen like, what just happened?
I feel like it's one of those times where they're like, oh, this happens, 1 out of every 30 times, but I'm that off.
You're the one.
I'm the 1 out of 5 guy.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been talking a lot through the community about the conquest comeback mechanics. And previously there was a multiplier that made it too aggressive. So if you're playing and you're winning, like this comeback mechanic comes in, and you're like, well, what the hell? We worked so hard as a team to get here, and they just dominated us within the past 3 minutes.
Yeah.
right.
So we've made some changes to that. The multiplier is not as aggressive. We wait till that multiplier kicks in. So we made some tweaks. It's a bit more relaxed, and we feel that it's going to be more rewarding if that team really did a good work at slaughtering the other team.
Right.
But we also want to make sure that the losing team has a chance to catch up if it's a close match.
Yeah, fairness. It's about trying to make it fun, right?
Yep.
Get there.
Now, I've had a lot of people ask about plane updates. There's been a lot of questions about what we're doing with bombers, what we're doing with fighters. There's a lot going on here. And I hate to sound prescriptive because there is a lot going on. We have our update notes in front of us. You want to walk us through some of the updates on the planes?
Sure. So we're adjusting the amount of ammunition given to airplane forward-firing machine guns and cannons. With the quick resupply, we feel like we can reduce the ammo in each weapon, so attrition becomes more of a factor, especially over long periods of flying. This also allows us to use ammo load as a balancing mechanic for some weapons, like 8 times LMGs on the Spitfire or the explosive cannon rounds on the BF-109.
So we're in a plane now, and Ryan, he's playing the new changes. So Ryan had more ammunition in his machine guns here on the plane, right? And if he were to go to a resupply station, like you were saying,
Yep. So yeah, basically the idea is like it gives us more levers to balance with, and it should make it more fun as well. That they can't just keep like looping on you in a small space. They'll have to go back and get ammo, which is actually still relatively quick. And I think that's also going to be super effective for the bombers as well. So they can't drop as many bombs on you in a run, which can feel super intimidating when they do it.
right? Absolutely.
Putting it nicely.
Which we did tweak some of the JU-88.
Yes.
So JU-88 bomber now only carries one 1,000 kilo bomb, and it has a reduced rate of fire when dropping the 16 50 kilo bombs.
16. I'm never going to unlock that.
Yeah.
So this assures that the bombs have a larger spread when hitting the ground. And there's a whole host of other updates. Like, I think we just went through maybe a third of the top notable ones.
Yeah.
There's a lot
There's
going
a lot.
on here.
We're looking at a huge list. It's a little intimidating.
But I want to hit everybody. You know, not everybody's a pilot. Some people are tankers. And so with some of the AA tanks, we found that they were a bit too vulnerable.
Yep.
And so we took a pass at making those a bit more fortified, or a bit, they're a bit more buffed up. So when engaging like infantry, there is reduced. So we reduced the damage AA tanks take to their turret to be better in line with side hits in order to make them more survivable. So that's exactly.
Because people would just go after the turret and then start dying super fast. Because
Yeah.
the AA is annoying.
I want to do this one for vehicles because
okay.
it's my favorite.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites. I like the bugs we fixed too, but you can now, while you're in the top gunner position, you know, the sniper food position, you can duck into the tank.
Finally, you heard it.
And
Ben
it should
Turner
be.
just
I
confirmed.
did, and it's glorious. So,
So you could turtle that thing.
yes, so it's great because you draw so much attention. Yeah, you can hide.
Right there, Ryan's doing it.
Yeah, it's
Oh, here we
great.
go.
Yeah, we're doing it right now. So he's blind firing right now.
And he's just holding Z, right? Crouch.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so what's great is you can
Or
pop
control.
up, kind of get it near where you want it, and you can pop down and blind fire. It's not the most effective thing in the world, but if you're just trying to keep some like Panzerfaust
That's
heads
sweet.
down, dude, it's so good. It's so nice feeling like you can use this position and not be like, don't stop the tank, don't stop the tank, because you know you're gonna get sniped.
So
as soon
assuming
as
you had your reticle in the position that you like, right? So now you're kind of just like,
Yep, and now you're just shooting above, and it's great. So if you want to keep people's heads down, like I said, without being super exposed, it allows the tanker to get way more aggressive because he also has this MG is super powerful, right? Like you can waste people with it. So having a player on it is actually really good for the tanker.
Yeah.
And before, no one really wanted to be in that position, so
Hated
we
it.
never had anyone because you
No
were just dead.
survivability.
So it makes and. It's coming out just in time for Panzerstorm, which is great.
Much
so all the
needed,
tankers
yeah.
will love it. So
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of this update.
you're gonna say, Jeff?
Well, yeah, no, I was gonna tag on to that. Like, I'm tired of getting shot in the face, and so like as my dude's driving, sometimes he'll stop, and I'm like, dude, do not stop.
exactly.
You are a tank. That is a sniper. Drive in.
Yeah.
And then I'm pop, and I'm done. But with that, I can at least know where the fire's coming from, point my gun over there, and at least suppress them,
Yep.
so that they're not feeling so strong that they're going to take more pot shots at
Or
me.
go down and then wait for the tank to suppress them and pop up.
There we go.
You know,
Yeah.
yield up a little
Let
bit.
people
take 'em
forget
out.
that you're there,
Yeah,
right? So
exactly.
it's like, yeah, it just opens up. There's so much more strategy to it. Like I said,
Layers, on
Layers.
layers, man.
I wasn't expecting, like when I heard we were going to do that, I wasn't expecting them to let you blind fire, which I think just adds a whole new level to it. It's just,
Yeah.
it's really cool.
Yes, Eluna Hada, I am an American.
What?
He's like, dude, his voice, so American.
Yeah, proud. So there's a question here from Debetta1 talking about the Panzerfaust. Are we making any changes to the Panzerfaust? Absolutely. So again, I'm gonna read like I'm gonna talk like I'm reading a script because I am. The Panzerfaust are now designed to be simple range damage against tanks and have been adjusted to have less spiky damage. The previous damage model relied heavily on the angle of attack, which played against infantry, since infantry rarely can pick their angle of attack against tanks. Poor hits could gravely punish the shooter with as low as just 5 damage for a hit. The new model has reduced the maximum range output of the projectile, especially against the rear of the tank. However, it now guarantees far better damage for poor hits, around 2 to 3 times more damage. So for example, the previous poor hit that would give just 5 damage will now give 15 damage. In addition, Panzerfausts are now extremely potent against the parts of the tank, meaning that they will more easily disable turrets, tracks, and engines, and give the attacking infantry a boost in finding the vehicle. Note that a part disable is not guaranteed with a hit. So we've buffed them up.
Nice.
Did
Yeah.
did we mention the auto spawn thing?
No, not yet. There's so much going into
Did you
this.
There's a
scroll
lot.
past it?
I did.
So-
I know.
so-
Debetta had a great question.
Real
know.
quick, the automatic spawn when a round starts, it's disabled now in all game modes except Final Stand.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
a change been made not to force players out of their customization or whatever, or to force players that are AFK to just be in the space and then lose a life. So that's gone now. It's gone now.
I'd say with the Panzerfaust too, one of the things, even though it is, I think, an overall buff to the Panzerfaust, still reducing the damage to when you hit like a rear shot.
Yes.
It actually will make it feel good for the tankers too, because that was like a huge damage spike, and it doesn't feel that great sometimes when you get like nailed like that. So I think it might actually feel good for the tankers.
So
as
it's a
well,
balance effect. We
I
may
think
have
so.
buffed Panzerfaust, but then it depends on where you hit on the tank.
Yeah, so it's more of an evened out experience where it's not like, oh, if you hit him in the right spot, boom, it does all this damage, but if you don't hit him in the right spot, it does nothing.
Yeah.
Now it's like a more evened out experience, which I think, again, is another positive.
So we are starting to run out of time, and I just want to lightly go through some of the rest of the updates that you can expect. We've made some changes to some different damage models as well with LMGs and soldier guns and some SMGs. So I'm not going to dive into all these because there's, again, 14 pages of update notes that will be live as soon as Chapter 1 Overture releases. We've made some changes to soldier fixes, tweaks as vehicles, weapon and gadgets, recoil, specializations have some changes. So much more. UI, the HUD. There's PC, PS4, and Xbox One specific updates.
Button mapping changes.
Button mapping, yeah. But what I want to get into is a brand new technology that's been out for a couple weeks. You and I were talking about it because you just recently got a 2080.
I did, yeah.
And we released the first iteration of the DXR technology. That's what we call ray tracing. And with NVIDIA cards, it looks incredible. In our first pass, we had a playable state, but there was some improvements that we could have made.
Yeah.
Here with this update, we've got some great improvements that add up to 50% better performance.
Yep.
And let me talk about some of that breakdown here.
Give us
so,
the juice.
like I said, we've been working closely with NVIDIA to make sure that we have that big performance update, and that's a big one, 50%.
Yes.
Now, if you're rocking a 2080 Ti, you're going to be able to achieve 60 frames per second at a 1440 resolution on Ultra.
That's awesome.
It looks amazing. Now, if you're rocking what you have,
2080.
the 2080, you've got 60 frames at a 1440 on medium.
Still very
Still
happy.
beautiful. Absolutely, yeah. And then, okay, so Grandma didn't spring for the 2080 Ti. She gave me a 2070, but I'm still pretty happy. You get the 60 plus frames at 1080 on medium quality. So it still looks pretty good. Yeah. Now, we recommend that obviously when Chapter 1 Overture releases, that you download the new game-ready drivers. Specifically, it's going to be the 417.22. That's through the GeForce Experience platform. Make sure that your 2080s, 2070s are updated so that we can take advantage of these upgrades.
I have a question.
Yes.
From the community. DXR on consoles.
Whoa.
That's a hardware thing.
That is a hardware thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now,
Who knows
DXR.
with the next generation of
I know.
consoles?
Right now, DXR is available on PC and it looks stunning. Now, we sat down with some of our developers and some of NVIDIA's developers to talk about RTX and the DXR technology. Let's check out what they had to say.
Battlefield 5 is the first game to come out with real-time ray tracing. We're targeting specifically real-time reflections, trying to increase the fidelity in them to lead to a much more immersive gameplay experience for our players.
We wanted to get ray tracing to players as soon as possible. Since then, we've been working together on optimizations and bug fixes included in the Chapter 1 Overture update. All combined, it's a big improvement on the performance. It's not only for 2080 Ti, it's also for 2080 and 2070.
We haven't changed what the quality levels do for this update. What we do is we increase the amount of rays we shoot in the scene as you go from low to ultra, and also it affects more materials. So we put a lot of research into something we call variable rate ray tracing. This allows us to place the rays where they matter. The red tiles is where we focus the most amount of rays because the underlying material is a specular one. This actually allows us to improve performance and improve quality level, and we will make it even better in the future.
There are more optimizations on denoiser and filters, and we will have more later for sure. For example, you can see this on frozen legs. We are optimizing on GPU and CPU performance for BBH repeats. BBH stands for bounding volume hierarchies, is to help ray tracing to be more efficient and to be faster in triangle intersections. Another thing we've been working on is a bunch of little shader optimizations. Each optimization has more performance throughout the game.
In Battlefield 5, we have a lot of destructible objects, and anything that is destructible has a very big performance impact for ray tracing due to a bug. However, we worked with NVIDIA, both on the driver side and in the engine, to fix this bug, which actually allows us to utilize the hardware much more efficiently, and ray tracing is performing much better now. Another issue we addressed is too many rays spawning off foliage, such as leaves and grass, which had a very big performance impact on the game without adding anything to the final visual fidelity. This has been improved for this update.
We are just scratching the surface on optimizing ray tracing performance.
Real-time ray tracing has only been out for a couple of weeks, and we're super excited to partnership with NVIDIA and deliver the best experience possible to our players.
Thank you everyone, and stay tuned for more updates.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah, no,
That's amazing
DXR and ray tracing is looking awesome. So hats off to our engineers at DICE Stockholm, LA, and our partner engineers with NVIDIA. They've done a lot of work trying to make sure that this technology is badass as it is. And like I said, you get 50% upgrade now in performance.
Download that update
Download the-
417.22, right?
Yep, that's it. And then obviously with the Chapter 1 Overture, and you'll be rocking.
Nice.
So it has been a really fun stream with you guys.
It's been great.
I laughed. We made fun of each other. Well, Jeff and I made fun of each other.
We made fun of Jeff when he wasn't here.
Yeah.
That's okay. I was making fun of you. I was making fun of you guys on social media when I was walking over to check out me jackhammering. By the way, if you've heard extra gunfire in this stream, it's actually the outside crew are working on a parking structure. It's been going on for what, 2 years now?
Yes.
And
on
they
for
decided
another
to jackhammer today. So yay, more authentication, authenticity in the stream, more,
Kind of felt like
shooting.
I was in war here.
Yeah, we're getting shelled basically.
Yeah. So thank you for sticking along with us. What you were watching was the Battlefield 5 Tides of War Chapter 1 Overture update. We got an exclusive sneak peek as we were playing on some local servers with some of our QA folks. So we took a look at Panzerstorm. That's a brand new map, huge map. It's really focused around tank warfare. It's all about buddying up with your squad, being an infantry player, taking out those tanks, or just, turning dudes into just puddles of
Red paste.
with your tank. We also took a look at the practice range.
Nice.
So you have all these different, the shooting trial, you have the driving trial, you have the open range, which you can play with up to 3 friends. You could turn friendly fire on, you control your friends, or you can start practicing your squad formations. That's what I'm going to be using it as.
Learn to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did not look at The Last Tiger because I didn't want to spoil anything, but Last Tiger will be coming with this update. So you have another chapter in the war story. And as you saw in the vehicle visual customization, you can unlock a cool skin for the Tiger 1. Which we have vehicle visual customization now. We went through all the nose decals for all the planes. We went through all the skin sets for the tanks. My favorite is that shark teeth, though.
That's awesome. Man, the
Yes.
grin and gritty, dude. The grin
Grin and Gertie.
That one.
Grinny Gritty was awesome.
very
It was
important.
kind of goofy.
Yeah, I like it.
And then his favorite gun that you can unlock is the what?
The Seb de Slaughter.
Close enough.
Seb de Slaughter.
1906.
You can just call it the 1906 slaughter.
So you can unlock all these great weapons, all the, dog tags and emblems through our Tides of War chapter assignments, through our weekly missions that'll be starting alongside the release of Chapter 1 Overture. So I do have to, again, caveat that we ran into a couple of issues as we were going through certification. We saw some game and server issues that we need to iron out. We don't want to release something in rush just because everybody's expecting it. We want to make sure that this build is solid, it's a great experience, and it's polished. Something that you would expect from DICE and EA. So we're going to take a little more time and wrapping that up, making sure that it's no pun intended, bulletproof. And then once we're comfortable with its state, then we're going to release that. And we're going to have an update for you tomorrow morning around Pacific time. So stay tuned to our channels within Twitter, Facebook, wherever you are.
Reddit, Discord.
Yep. Which I also want to give a shout out to our communities on Facebook, on Twitter, Reddit, and Discord. You have been so engaged with us over the past 8 weeks. and have completely taken to all this great information that we've been sharing.
And our growing community on Mixer.
Yeah.
Oh, on Mixer too,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
which
and we've
people are
got
watching now.
Yep, and we've got a new stream team that we're building up on Mixer, headed up by Nixie. Who's our squad leader there, and so we're gonna have more content for Battlefield being streamed on Mixer, and of course we've got the stream team on Twitch. So we're kind of everywhere.
So before we close out, any last words, gentlemen?
Build fortifications more often. Heal, rearm, revive your people, play as a squad, have fun.
When you're playing the game and you're having tough moments like bugs and stuff, we're playing the game too. We're having those same moments and we're working hard to fix them every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you encounter a bug, report it, man.
Yeah.
We've got Reddit where you can go post, but a great place is answers.ea.com, because they actually have a bug form where you go in and you can talk about everything that you experienced, what map you were on, what game mode you were doing, what your system specs are, if you're on PC. That way they can identify these bugs faster and faster and get a resolution out. So you know, and if you have feedback on these changes, we want to hear it.
Yeah.
Once it goes live, once you've played it, that'd be like me. I've never driven a Lamborghini, so I can't say if it's going to be a badass ride compared to a Volkswagen, which I've also never driven a Volkswagen. So I'm like, I don't know. But either one,
An excellent point.
you know, I've never.
So his analogy makes no sense.
Well, no, but I mean,
You can make a pretty good
What do you
guess.
say?
at that.
Before you make a
I can tell
judgment
you
call.
which one's more expensive and which one looks sexier, but I can't tell you, which one is going to be a good ride. A good ride. So go play it
Lambo.
once it comes out. Give us feedback. Be constructive.
Totally a 70s
And I hate you all.
I would just like to make
I
one-
love you guys.
I can't
These
fit in a
guys are the
Lamborghini,
worst.
so no matter how cool it is, it's probably not that great. So I'm going with that VW every single time.
Well, as the great Rayo06 has said in our chat in all caps, we'll see you on the battlefield.
Bye, folks.
Mein Name ist Peter Müller, Kommandant des Tigerpanzers 237. Und ich war dort.
Oh mein Gott.
Gemeinsam sind wir stärker, vergessen Sie das nicht.
Mensch, Peter, was machen wir denn jetzt?
Feuer!